Rodney Alcala was officially registered as a sex offender, but this did not prevent him from getting a job at the Los Angeles Times in September 1977. A few months later, in March 1978, he was arrested again on suspicion of a series of murders. However, the charismatic criminal managed to clear himself of all evidence and convince the police of his innocence. Rodney Alcala gained particular notoriety after appearing on the TV show The Dating Game. In September 1978, he was introduced as a successful and fashionable bachelor photographer looking for his life partner. At the time, the show did not conduct background checks, so neither the producers nor the host had any idea who was actually standing before them. By the end of the program, Alcala won a date with Cheryl Bradshaw. However, she refused to go out with him because she found him too strange. This decision likely saved her life. Capture and conviction. Rodney Alcala was finally arrested on July 24, 1979, after being accused of murdering 12-year-old Robin Samso in Huntington Beach, California. After his arrest, investigators found hundreds of pieces of evidence linking him to other crimes committed by the serial killer. The trial of the killer took place in 3 stages, during which law enforcement gathered extensive evidence linking him to other crimes. In a retrial held in 2010, Rodney Alcala was charged with attacking 4 more women in California in the late 1970s. The serial killer chose to represent himself in court, but this time, his charm did not help him. In March 2010, Rodney was sentenced to death. Even after his sentencing in 2012, Alcala confessed to 2 more murders. Finally, in 2016, he was charged with the 1977 murder of Christine Ruth Thornton. Some of Alcala's victims survived his attacks. Among them were 8-year-old Tali Shapiro and 15-year-old Monica Hoyt. By the time they testified in court, both women were adults. After the trial, when authorities publicly released an entire archive of Rodney Alcala's photographs, several more of his victims were identified. Investigators determined that between 1971 and 1979, Alcala murdered 8 women in New York, California, and Wyoming. Additionally, he sexually assaulted 2 more young women. He was also linked to the 1977 murder of a woman in California, though he was never officially charged for that crime. One woman who avoided dating the killer due to his arrest later said, "It was so easy to trust him. He had a way of talking to people that made them feel at ease." In his youth, Alcala truly looked like the perfect lover. His carefully crafted image of a trendy photographer, his long glossy hair, his charisma, and sharp intellect. However, all of his charm and composure would vanish, turning into rage and aggression as soon as his victims fell into his trap. The exact number of Alcala's victims remains unknown. Authorities believe he may have killed anywhere between 50 and 130 people. Death in prison.